Well, are we live? I have fought for 25, 30 minutes trying to get an internet connection, which is just downright been horrible. So, anyhow, let me get a few things situated here. All right, we are live. I'm just looking over here on the phone to make sure we're good. Yaddy, yaddy, yaddy. All right, let's put that there so that way I know everything is rolling and strolling. This go here. As you can tell, I am not in the truck. So it's been a god awful interesting week, to say the least. I called it this last week to let the boss know that I'm not going to do 2 more weeks. Oh, I'll do one more, and we're going to call it quits. Um, so, as you know, I had to reschedule this for tonight. So let's get that out of the way. Uh, I have had more than my fair share of that Cascadia breaking down. Um, this is one, two, three, 4 times I've blown the coolant in the last 3 weeks on this truck. If not, 3, 4 weeks, we've blown the coolant out of that, dumping the whole system out. And it's more than just annoying. And I kept my cool yesterday, but I had to get down and get into the coolant, the hot coolant, to get the line stopped. It came. There's a round plastic clip, keeps the coolant line plugged into whatever it's doing in the bottom half, backside of the def tank. So once I got it on there, there's an O-ring, and it's kind of like went in like that with an O-ringer on it. So with that 90-degree elbow, I just took zip ties and had to wrap it around the module or whatever that's down there. So I was able to makeshift it, and I probably will check it again tomorrow. I got to check the wheel bearings in the morning. It's dumping gear lube out the front wheel. I have done nothing. And this truck breaking down has accelerated me to get out of trucking because of just the IT and the crap that we deal with these trucks. They are unreliable, leaving you stranded in any circumstance that there's no way in Sam hell I will ever come back and ever get in a truck of this caliber or this new. If someone was to want to pay me some ridiculous, stupid amount of money, it will have to be a 379 or a W900 from at least 2000 or older with a CAD engine and no computers. They can take and shove all this stuff right up their ass. This technology, as far as for a driver standpoint, and operating it day in and day out, EPA and the safety commissions, they do not. You've got college educated kids that have never seen the. I don't care about simulated models or what they think looks good on paper. These trucks are a total piece of crap. So I made it through. We got through yesterday, but we were like 15 minutes away from running out of our day. Today we had about a 12-hour day, and we did have a 12-hour day, and everything went well today. We have one more stop tomorrow, then I'm heading back up. When I get to the yard, dropping the trailer, I'm cleaning out my truck. My replacement is there's a lot of stuff in my truck I'm giving him, from all the water that we bought, the coolant, spare wiper blades, spare PB blaster, there's spare cords, a little tool bag that the company had set me up with. I said, take all that stuff. I'm going to get him set up. So he's taking a day cab. Uh, he said he will not take that truck out after he's seen and heard what all the issues and problems I've had with this truck. So I'm just glad that this thing is done, because the company said when you get back, it's never going back out. I'm cleaning it out, probably be Thursday morning when we get back. I'm cleaning out the truck, getting him his stuff situated. We're going to put it all in a box. He's going to put it in the trunk of his car until he knows what he's getting for a truck to be assigned to him. Once my truck's cleaned out, I'm running it down to the rider shop, going to write up, the Band-Aid I have on there, plus the wheel seal, dropping it off. It's yours. Goodbye. See you later. Never going to get in this thing again. So Thursday it'll be dropped off and returned back to Ryder because they don't want it back. And it has definitely burned the last of my patience on driving it. So Sunday basically was 2 weeks away from being in the car driving out to Arizona. I have to get the wife's car prepped and ready for a 1,900-mile trip. Along with that, I've got auto transport coming. I need to be home and get things done. So, and I got to go down and see my father, whose health is failing, quick, fast, and in a hurry over a cliff. So I need to get some time in with him, get things finished, prepped, and ready. So I said, I'm done. I'm just over all this crap, and going out fighting with this truck day in and day, week in and week out. So we're pretty stoked about that. We're well positioned and ready to go. Last weekend, I hauled a trailer of stuff downstate, get rid of things, and we're nearly there. I want to see Thursday. We'll probably haul another wave of stuff. Actually, Thursday, I've got 3 people interested in my pickup. So with that said, I got to get it out of the garage, cleaned up, ready for it to be shown and hopefully sold. And if that said, I will grab a hold of my dad's truck. So I'm hoping one of these people will purchase the truck, because then I'll just rent a car, drive down, see my dad, then get his truck from him and bring it back up. And because I told him I want to take possession of it. He can never drive again. He is so frail that the struggle for him every day is just getting to the bathroom, getting dressed, and eating. So with all that said, I need to and that's on me. The batteries were dead Sunday morning. That's because the truck sat for 3 days and I left the inverter on with the refrigerator running. So I kind of should have had that plugged into shore power, but I've had 50 things going on to get us out west. I've got, a job waiting for me out there. I got a new home waiting for me out there. It's like enough of this chaos of driving this truck. So one more stop tomorrow, then we're booking it for the yard. And so far so good. But this guy's asked me a lot of questions, but do you think I'll ever miss it? And I said, no, I didn't miss it the first time. When I left trucking at the end of 2000 into 2001 and went off to school to become a doctor, get my college degree and all that stuff, I did not miss trucking. I did not want to go back into trucking at any point in a 14-year sabbatical. It took a lot for me to go back into trucking. Basically, I was pigeonholed and pinned against the wall financially to go back in the trucking back in 2014. I didn't have any other out. And as I have stated, trucking really helped us elevate and get on our feet and get financially positioned. And I am very thankful for that. But with that, it served its purpose. We're in a better position. And once the house is sold and my truck is sold, we're going to be more well off than we are currently. And we could start living our best years ahead. Being away from home, and that's just the thing, is just being away from home. You can't indulge in personal activities or your life. And that novelty of being out on the road for me, I've been there, done that. I've seen enough from 1988 to now. So what are we looking at? 26, 27, 28 years, or no, I'm sorry, 36, 37, 30, almost 38 years. I'm done. I've had enough, of being around that industry, because even when I worked in healthcare and even through college, I turned wrenches, I welded and fabricated, and I ran heavy equipment to make ends meet, to to get me through college and raise my son and just to have a financial support. I am thankful for my skill trades, thankful for trucking, but at some point, I don't want it to be the be all end all way of making money. So we have so many other cats to skin to position ourselves to be cash flowing and making money and expanding our wealth through investments, that I need to concentrate on those. And trucking's just eating up way too much of my time, especially being away from home and doing more important things. And so, I'm thankful for the company I'm with, thankful for the truck, but all things have to come to an end, and this is it. This is the end of the road. Things have been, outside of the truck breaking down and the batteries being dead. You know, I knew I was going to have to do hotels this week, but with the refrigerator had turned off, it spoiled all the remaining food I had in the truck. So I'm like, just sent all my meal prep food back home with my wife because she was still there when the batteries were dead and all that jazz. So, like, this is the thing I hate. I hate coming to hotels. The other guys like it. I'm definitely appalled and opposed to hoteling it every night in the truck. So I ate better and did better night after night in the truck than I did being here at a hotel. So I figured I'll just tolerate it for this week and then I'm done and go from there. Overall, the route's been going good. It's just been the truck. The guy's been taking down notes just left and right because there's a lot of stops in my region that he's not seeing, and we're gonna go through it tomorrow night after we clean the truck because I got to get things packed up. Take the red lights out because I'm going to use that red ambient light I got in there. I'm going to actually use that for my underglow on my golf cart. But my CV, the coax, antenna mount, and all that's coming out. I told him if he wants to buy it and put it into his next truck or have someone install it, he can do that. So we'll see where that goes. But I got to get all that stuff gutted and just be ready when I get home Thursday because I don't want to spend too much time in the yard Thursday because I got to get home, get my truck out, get it ready because I got people coming and looking at that. So I just got a lot on my plate, and I just feel like I'm just getting held back being out here doing what I'm doing. So the new driver, he's a really great guy. He is he's got good common sense. He's a Gen X. He's a few years younger than me, but he's definitely got the common sense to be out here and do this job. Unlike, I've seen a lot of guys come and go with this company that I could pretty much tell on the first day, send this guy packing down the road. But he seems like he's pretty stoked to have his own route and have a set schedule and be home compared to being over the road as he was doing before. So therefore, this will give him more consistency for home life and all that. So not every company is a good fit. Like I said, I got more things to do, so being away from home is just being become a burdensome now. So and I'm just frustrated because I fought with this damn internet and the computer to get things, connected. So I have no idea. Don't forget, maybe use your phone as a hotspot. I already did that. That's what's running on this right now is the hotspot on my phone because God knows I don't know what was going on if the hotel Wi-Fi was just giving me crap or what. But I flipped it over and it seemed like it took about 5 minutes for it to finally grab hold, boom, take off, and here we are. So, oh, what else? Anything else, Laura? I mean, we really got to gut the house this week and next week as far as the last remaining stuff in there, and we got to get that final push. We got a grill that we got to get rid of, a king size bed. We should just probably get rid of that because we got the air up mattress we can just use. So that bed, I would be putting that bed up for sale right now and getting that thing out of there because timeline is thinning down. And yeah, I brought stuff back to the house to pack in the truck because there wasn't any bites, but I lowered the price on my pickup to get it moving. Um, I really don't want a big lifted truck. At this point, it's been always my dream, but as you get older, less things become prevalent to what you want in life. I just feel like I would be very content with a very stock, big block, single cab, 1979 GMC pickup, 4-wheel drive, or even a 2-wheel drive, 1-ton single wheel. I just want something simple and air tilt and cruise and just simple. I just want a simple vehicle. I don't need all the jazz. And people just seem like you see them and they're just like programmed from the marketing and from the indoctrination in this country that you got to have the latest, greatest stuff. And I'm to the point, I want the lease of it. And just have more of my mental health to just enjoy life and do more of the simple things. But I'm not sleeping on the air mattress. I have a plan. She's got a plan. My wife has a plan that can be scary. I don't know. So I may have to fine tune that plan. uh, but I got in here. We got here to the hotel at like 6:25. So by the time I get up here and get this thing, I was booting it up, literally tossing everything around the room, just booting up the computer because it's slow moving. We need to get this computer at least a clean up and a tune up so it'll at least pop up and move a little faster. Otherwise, yeah, it's been a ride. The last 12 years has been something else. Um, I've learned a lot and I've gathered a lot of knowledge and information from being out on the road and being around certain people. And I've evolved as a person from 2014 to 2026 as to the person that had walked away from the healthcare industry. So I feel I got a better grasp, better knowledge, and more focused eyes on things than I did then. Not so dumbed down and naive to things that our government society has indoctrinated or brainwashed us into. So I'm looking forward more. My head has left the truck about a few weeks ago, and I am just like my head's already living in Arizona, and I just need and want to get on the road and out there to do our thing. Will I miss Michigan? Being a native of it, born and raised there, I will not miss Michigan. I will not miss everything from October to April when everything starts getting cold, miserable, cloudy, dreary, drabby, gloomy. I just want to go and start living my latter years in the happiest moment I can. And that's all it is we're just repositioning ourselves in a different area, doing a whole different career path and money investment as to what we're doing now, because this is not fun. Um, I have always hated the winters for probably a good portion of 55 years. Um, and I've always wanted to do more with my life. And the thing of it is, a lot of people are like, well, do you know what you're getting in, this and that? Yeah, do you think if I did know what I was getting into, just, buying a house and going out there, like, yeah, I've traveled out there enough times. We know what we're getting into. We've done our homework. And I just want to go. And the thing of it is I tuned out so many people because they are so adamant of making a change in their life, especially when I'm 59 and a half years old. These people are just, well, change. And that's the problem with human beings is we are creatures of habit, and change makes them very pissy and very um, pushback or defensive. And I accept change. It builds character, and it grows your mind, and you get to see things differently than to keep doing the same old in your little comfort bubble. But we've already left our hometown that we grew up in 11 years ago, and my wife spent 19, almost, well, 20 years out in Seattle, only to come back, and she hated it. We've been 11 years across the state. Now we're going to spend the rest of our lives out there. Just coming back for funerals and maybe a once in a while visit. But for the most part, we're going to have a blast. So make the best of things. And cool thing was we stopped at the Petro in Rafine, Virginia yesterday and got me another hat. I wanted to be a damn hat connoisseur, but I got a nice one for when I wear a shirt and tie or anything like that out there because I need these things. I burn my head horribly bad in the sun, especially in the summertime in Michigan. So out there, I'm going to need one. I got a nice straw hat that you guys all saw in the early videos when we were in Denton, Texas. That one's got a lot of good airflow and all that. These leather ones, I got this leather one, and I got a kangaroo hide one, and then I got this nice dress one. I left it out in the truck because I already had my hands full coming in here, but looking forward to parking that damn truck. Looking forward to getting home, and we'll probably live stream on our travel across the United States. I do going across the United States, not only getting video and other pictures and all that, seeing the land as we go, but I definitely want to try one more time to get across to stop at 4 states in Joplin, Missouri to see Brian, and hopefully to shake his hand and get a picture with him. I really like that cat and the things they do there. I think I would have had a lot of customization done on my if I owned a truck, but probably grab a couple more shirts and then book out of there and head for Arizona from that point. So yeah, and this house up here, my wife and I have gone from having debates in the past about we're about ready to kill each other because it's just trying to get things sold, trying to get the house constantly stayed clean. So we're just staying out of areas of the house completely, cooking and making meals. You're trying to use your house to function and live every day. And you're still dealing with making sure the house is clean so you can, have it ready for when the realtor calls for a showing. So it's been a real big pain in the ass overall between that um, and being out here on the road. So, so all I can do is I'm just with certainty going forward and saying, yep, life's going to get better out there than it is for what we're currently doing. And if our life's good here, I can only say it's only going to get better. And we're just jazzed up and ready to do that. Um, and expand on this channel because with a lot of expenses getting paid off, because we're going to be paying off some major debts from the sale of the house, it's going to allow me I'll be able to finally do subscription to StreamYard to get this better and give you better quality live streams and videos and take you along and have different kind of conversations than we did out on the road driving truck. Because I'll tell you, at this point in time and juncture, I've seen what I want to see, done what I want to do, but I can't beat the drums on trucking any more than you're just driving a truck, delivering from A to B to C to D to E, then you're finished, empty, go home, park truck, start over, and rinse and repeat. And to me, it's just gotten to be redundant of doing the same thing over and over and over, where I just don't feel challenged in it anymore, other than challenge like dealing with traffic and or inclement weather. That's not a challenge; that's a stress. So I'm just happy to be able to finally wash my hands and walk away from it and pass it on to another guy. This he is excited to have his own assigned truck, no slip seating, be in the same region week in and week out. So he's going to get to be able to grow a relationship with all of his customers or my now former customers that being their driver and taking care of them, and he's seeing it. So he's like, "This is going to be cool," and he's excited and happy. And I'm more than thankful that someone with a mind or with a head on their shoulders is actually taking this route over because I really question a few, some of the drivers we've had in the past to ever have taken this route. So it's been something. You got to find the right person, and I think they did with this guy. So he, you see them pouring the water bottles in, and if you look in the community post, pouring the water bottles. I said, "Here, pour the water bottles in while I clean up," and then I had to put the side skirting back on and all that jazz. Once we got the truck running, it sucked out. It burped itself out. The water level went down where I could start it and move it, but there's no way we're going to be able to get back on the road and pull another hill because the coolant was too low and the sensors would have shut the truck down. I heard Jake brakes on a end dump because it's a lot of coal hauling industry. So I got on CV and asked the guy if he had any water or something, I could get in the radiator just to get past the sensors so the computer would unlock the truck to let it run, full power. And he did. And he said, "Hey, my company buys this stuff. Don't worry. Take what you need." And I said, "I think just a gallon would get us over the edge." And it did. And then once we got down the road about another 15, 20 miles, we got to where Walmart was and got all of the supplies we needed to make sure we could finish out yesterday. And we got through today and one more good hard day tomorrow, and then just mosey into the yard Thursday morning and call it a week. But I knew right away when the codes and the everything flashed up for the coolant. I said, "Fucking blew another coolant line off the DEF tank." I thought it was the same one again because I went right to it and it wasn't leaking, and then I could hear stuff running underneath, so I had to crawl from get under from the front side because it was right below the sleeper and going towards the drives the way the truck was sitting. So I came from the front side of the fuel tank where the batteries were and just crawled under there and started looking around, and finally I could find the line. I don't know, but they sure don't make any good trucks anymore. So what will I be doing there from this point? Just getting ready, make the move get unpacked, get the house more prepped out there, and start learning new things at the new job, being a mechanic. And when I'm not doing that, there is more than a ton of work being already presented to me out there in Arizona. So I have the bus mechanic job, but I also got my contractor. He could use help on some big projects, and my auto detailing. If I want to, unleash that, that's probably going to crack open some money. So I'm not going to be anything short of money, of making money and having, to be able to put food on the table and pay the bills. So I don't need to be gone 4 or 5, 6 days a week, nor do I need to work 70, 80, 90 hours a week um, to make a living. So I'm pretty happy and thankful for that. I really want to back down on all that stress and all that, just the demand of just running hard, 16, 18, 20 hours a day between trucking and just working all the time on the side. And even though having a side hustle is good, but sometimes getting a side hustle where you don't have to physically demand out of your body so much, especially when you're at this age, as compared to these 20 and 25-year-olds. So hold on a second. I got to turn this AC's on the back side of me, and it's starting to freeze me out finally. Here we go. I opened the curtain up to get more lighting in here. Where are we at? Oh, we're in Kingsport. It's a suburb just outside of Bristol, Tennessee. So we're in Kingsport, Tennessee, at a Quality Inn, right off the I-26, Route 93. But I actually went by from a couple weeks ago when I had to get record when the coolant line broke off. I showed him. I said, if you look over there, probably a couple empty coolant jugs sitting out there in the ditch. So, yeah, I told him. I said, this is going to be ridiculous. But we got here. He went out to eat. He's trying to give him some of his space. Being in the truck together all day, I just thought, hey, we'll just convene down here in the lobby about 6:30 in the morning. I want to get logged into the truck, get going about 6:45. We got about an hour and a half drive. I want to take my time getting up there, get this last bit off. So the big thing is that I just don't want to push this truck till we get emptied and just get our happy asses back. So, but we got to deal with. I said there's from the angle of where we're coming back out of, because we're going to be coming up out of Virginia, and I said from the Cumberland Gap, from Virginia and Tennessee, I said we can either go up through Cincinnati and Dayton or Louisville and Indy. And to be honest, I said pick the better of the two evils. I don't know what people to live in a big city and all that congestion and all that. Well, I need the bright lights in big city and the bars and the partying, and I need to be around people. And as I've gotten older, I want to be less and less around people and more just in solitude. And maybe that's just me and my wife going in that direction, but I'm pretty happy and content. I guess I am very comfortable in my own skin than most people that can't be alone for very long, and then they're just, they can't handle themselves. That's a you issue. So what do we got in the chat? And I have all docs pulled that we need when we get there and for you to get your CDL transferred. Yeah, the first thing I need to do after we get settled in is I got to run down to the DMV and get my CDL switched over to S.E.E, and then we'll work on the vehicles after that. But for now, the CDL just needs to get switched over so I can get started out there and start getting my training. And because I'm sure I'm going to have a lot of orientation and intake of, policies and procedures working there first before they can just turn me loose out on the floor and start working with a mentor to turn wrenches, and that's fine. It's gonna be weird to work from the standard schedule 6 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. It's gonna be kind of weird. Come home by 3:30. You're sitting at home like, this is different. Especially on a Monday, Tuesday, and but it'll allow me to get some personal stuff done and have more personal time, but reestablish our relationship, our marriage, have time together instead of being time apart. So I wish I'd say I had more or something exciting other than my week was rainbows and pixie dust and unicorns. It was dead batteries and breaking down again. And I said, I don't know how many more times this truck's definitely got a coolant flush done. So there's definitely no contaminated coolant in this truck. But wow, what a week to go out on. And I wish it was better, but I've kept that truck clean and pristine on the inside until this week. That truck's got more dirt in it now than it's probably seen in 2 years, just after the last 3 days. But I right now I'm just like, F it, I don't care. The truck's getting turned in, and I'm sure the rider's gonna send that truck down to the auction block because it's costing them an arm and a leg to fix. So I'll be glad just to give it a full send. Yep. So I don't know. I mean, it's just like we've been working at this for so many years that we're ready to go. We're just been ready. I looked at my wife last week and I said, I just can't do another. I just couldn't do another week out here. I said, we got to get things done and I want to go. I guess the itch, I got to scratch that itch like right now. Let's go. So I said, I'll give you one more week because I've already given them notice. I tipped them off in December that this was going to be my last year driving. So I knew 2026 was going to be my last year. Fluidly, my end date was up in the air. The purchase of the home kind of once I went out to Arizona and signed off on the house and we got everything taken care of there, it was just a matter of get rid of shit. Let's downsize everything that, just take only what we need to travel across the United States and let's get the hell going. So it probably moved up 6 months faster than we anticipated, but I'm happy for that. And not a lot of people are like, that's pretty ballsy. A lot of people just don't have it in them to ever do something like this. And but I guess if you want to position yourself better than what you currently are, I guess you need to make those changes, the sacrifices, and the hard work to go into it. I looked at my wife when I came off the plane from Arizona and I said, we got to hurry up and get rid of stuff in the house so we can start making the move. I said, we're going to go through a lot of pain to get there because it was a lot of, getting rid of things. I mean, we had so much stuff accumulated that we just weren't paying attention of that got out of control. But selling the vehicle, getting rid of all the furnishings, all the little nitpicking stuff, and setting up a moving sale and just getting rid of stuff through there and letting go of a lot of things that you think you feel that they're your worldly possessions. And I'm like, I'm not attached to it. I'd rather go out, be minimal and simple and be happier with less stuff on our back and less debt. And I'd rather walk every day with that less of stress than to just be hanging on to things. And so pretty excited about the whole scenario. It's really changed my mindset of outlook on life, but walking with more certainty with our new businesses to be able to get worked on and launched and really go forward with. because it's going to open up more doors for us to do other things and hopefully meet some really cool cats in the realm, that are also very wealthy and doing very well off that we can be mentoring, finding mentors that we can learn from and increase our standard of living even more than where we're already going now. I drank my water, so my throat is dry. Apologize for the cough. And that is in our corner out there getting things ready. Yeah, my contractor Slade's been really busting ass, but he said he has got so much work, he's turning it down now. As a handyman contractor on the side, besides running the maintenance at the resort. So I told him when I get there, let me get situated at my job. Give me a few weeks to figure out what I'm doing and what's needed of me, and find out where I'm at and getting things done at my house. And I said, I'll jump in with you, and if you got work, you willing to throw some money out at me? I said, let's go at it. And I can probably learn a few things from him too. So, and it'll help working with someone that's a contractor there in Arizona that knows the ins and outs and the do's and don'ts of what, you know, doing things out there, building trade wise, in contrast to living in Michigan and in the Midwest with the Four Seasons. So it's a different mindset, and I would think that being mentored by him would really help me understand as I go forward in life. So things I need to know about keeping maintenance up on my house and repairs in such a way is, that would fit the Arizona climate in comparison to the Michigan climate, where October is your get all your summer stuff in, winterize your stuff, get your vehicles ready for the cold temps, things like that. Then turn around, put your mowing equipment away, get your snow removal equipment out, and then turn around and reverse procedure that, come springtime. I'm not going to miss none of that. Oh, what else? But yeah, I would love to see my truck get sold too. I think down the road, I really, once I'm out there as my mentor, a guy that I look towards that really pushed me to take it to another level of work ethics and trucking. Um, he's living his dream. He's got a Super Snake, Shelby GT 500, and that's his daily driver. And he goes, I'm driving my dream car as a daily. He goes, I'm living the dream, and you got to worry about snow and salt and all that. But he wants to live his life out. I, I'd probably say at some point, I may, if we get rid of the wife's car or some shit like that, down the road, I would probably really sit down and think real hard about maybe getting my CUDA, like just a 340 V8, not a Hemi. There's no way we could touch a Hemi CUDA, but I'd like a 70 or 71 Hemi or 7071 CUDA, in great condition if it was test read or not, but something that I could just drive every day and just ride out, maybe 10 years from now and just be able to go out and ride out my life. And I'm not a Tesla guy, so I'm not into that driving the Tesla and all that. I got a golf cart, an easy go golf cart. That's about as close as I'm going to get to electric vehicle. Um, just not a fan of the electric cars, but I really want something to kind of round out my life later on. But for now, things are looking good, and I'm not against trucking, but trucking has definitely changed from 5 decades ago. When you look back, it's already been 5 decades since the 80s. And yeah, one, two, three, four. The 80s is five. But over that span, I've just seen just stupid government nefarious acts of idiocy that I don't know, between them and the EPA and the CDC and all that, just nefarious people trying to do more harm to us. So I just want to go sit in a little corner of the desert and just be left alone and just go live out my life happily. And that's basically what it sums up to. Normally I'd be really jazzed up and jumped up tonight, but man, I was rushing around here. I still got to run over and eat. I only got a couple options tonight. I forget what it was. I think Wendy's was one. I forget what the other one was. Hardee's. So I'm probably gonna do. I don't know. Wendy's or Hardee's. That yeah. Otherwise, I gotta walk a long distance to go get any food. And at this point, I'm not really worried. Just get through the week, get back home, and then I'll take care of myself meal wise. Because I've been eating very little being out here, as compared to what I normally would be doing. So, any of you guys got any questions? Throw something in the live chat there in the comment section. Is the chat? Miss Laura's been in there. She's been um, chatting along, throwing things out there with me. I think I may have put it. If not, would you want to put that in the community post, Laura? That blurb that you did yesterday on Facebook, or was it? Yeah, it was yesterday because today's Tuesday. I can't even keep track what days I'm on. With the pictures and in the write up you did, unbeknownst to me, 11 o'clock last night. Like I'm laying in bed and I'm just clearing out emails and notifications, and she wrote a nice long little essay about my travels and things that she has seen and done, support as a supporting trucker's wife. And Eric and Robbie, yeah, yesterday was Monday. Today's Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yep. So, Eric and Robbie, one of them may be hitting you up for a friend request, just so you know. And they want to stay in touch because they want to screw with me every now and then and do some pranks, and so I got a few good customers. They are up there is the number one customer that I just watched two young men start a appliance, or I want to say a business in a home goods business per se, and with only probably two nickels to rub, and that was it. And these guys have built a business up where everything they've done is when they buy stuff from us, it's been COD. And I think, yeah, we were talking about it today. They think they wrote their biggest check for product last week when I was there, but they said when they first went into business, they bought some product and spent a few $100, and they were sweating bullets just to hope they could sell the stuff. And now they said they got a running list of people waiting for product to be delivered so they can get it to them. They're like, dude, this is weird. It's different, and they're liking it. But we've sat down, especially when they moved to a new location, and we've talked about like store frontage, signage, what to do, where to put it, their marquee sign, illuminating it, clearing the showroom to, put more of a flair into it. And but they can't even get product. Like there was a customer sitting there and they were waiting, like, is my product here yet? And they're like, Eric went, there it is, coming up the road right now. He's coming now. I'll have it to you later today. So they are like, their business took off. It's flourishing. And I'm so happy to see two young men in their 20s really build something up from just on a whim of, let's take a chance and throw some spaghetti at the wall and see if it sticks. And it's been working for them. And I can't be but excited and happy to watch those guys grow that business. And we're going to stay in contact. It's funny because they sent me home last week a package. We opened it up Saturday night, and oh man, they got me something I've been eyeing up at their store that they had in a display case, and it's a one of those big serrated survival knives, and I was like, wow, and threw a little bit of bennies in there to take the wife out to dinner. So we're going to use that for meals on our way out to Arizona. But I couldn't thank those two boys enough. And they even did it when I took my wife out to Denton, Texas for brain surgery. They gave us money to buy meals for her, so I could buy, basically I used it to buy her meals. And I'll tell you, man, great guys, salt of the earth. And a lot of my customers are like that. And I couldn't have been, looking back, can't be more than blessed to come into good Christian hearted people like that. And it's getting to be lost in other areas of the country, but there are good regions. And this new guy, he's going to really see it. I think he's going to really be jazzed up to see the heart and soul of these people, when he gets there to make deliveries, and how well they'll take care of them, especially coming at the end of the year for Christmas and all that. It's been just an awesome experience. But I said stay in touch. I'm keeping probably about a dozen personal phone numbers, to be in touch with these people. So if they ever come out our way, take them out, show them a good time. But a few of them said, lose my number. So I said, sure will. And said my goodbyes slowly over the last 3 weeks, but this week was it. So there's going to be a lot that'll probably be reaching out, calling me, wondering where I'm at next week. And let them know that I'm done. And they kind of missed the window on that for me getting by and saying goodbye. So, what else? Yeah. So we got a lot going on. Oh, and ran into a good friend down where we had our other property when we were out Saturday. So I got some good designs to set up our gazebo. I want to put a nice bar top and stools on the one wall. And so I've got some really great ideas and stuff going on to really make our house just a very tropical island, like almost like I want it to be like if you were just sulking around there, like if you were at Bora Bora. So other than missing the water, being on the desert, so but sure, like I said, I just want that place to be our oasis for the next 20-30 years. And from there, just get out, travel, and have a good time, enjoy life, celebrate it, and not make it so business-like and structured that you're missing the parade. I want to be able to enjoy life, enjoy all the beauty of it going by me instead of just passing it up because I'm too busy. But I'm going to cut you guys loose. I appreciate your patience of this getting bumped. There was no saying, we didn't get shut down and logged off from the truck till 8:45 last night. So there was no way I was making a live stream, and we were cutting it close today. But yeah, and I should have set it up on the phone. The problem is the live stream link was on StreamYard through my laptop. So I probably won't have that issue from here on out. And I probably will do something like this when we're out on the road at the hotels. Laura and I, maybe we'll go out and walk around in different areas, different places we're stopping for the night. Who knows? I know I did a lot of videos when we were in Denton, Texas. Between I wanted to get the Peterbilt, but we went to the factory entrance and went in the office and talked to people, but there was no factory tour going to happen. I'm a nobody unless I was representing something of a huge nature. Would they let me in? So, but I did get down there and walking around. You can go back in the archives and look at me walking around. I went down to the AT&T Stadium, the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Went down there and walked around. You can watch me get kicked out of there because the gates were open. So I just moseyed in and was recording and doing all kinds of stuff till people kind of came up to me and said, "You need to leave," because I was in a area that was not well, it was restricted, but they said you're not allowed here. But had a good time there, and we've had a good time taking that trip out there. So it's just going to be nice to be able to have more sunny days and cloudy days, and get repositioned in our life, just the way we've been envisioning it for several years now. Um, but keeping life meek and staying humble. And living life meek and staying humble. That's how I wanted to phrase that. And that's all it is. And these trucking has surrounded me with some very cool people, some very loving and wholehearted people. And I can't be but thankful enough for that. And seeing that and seeing these people, there's some good in life. You just got to know where to position yourself to find the right people. You'd be surprised where you find all the toxic people. They're usually the ones that are close to you, whether they're close friends or family. But, yep, I am very, very blessed and thankful to this point in life. So, and I thank you all for growing this channel and helping, S.E.E. become something. I think we're going to be more involved in, once we get our home-based businesses, we're going to be, I'll get Laura on here. I think both of us are going to be doing more discussions, maybe once a week, where we can sit down and talk about what she's doing, because her and I have already talked about it. I want her to spearhead the real estate side. Once that's positioned, she's going to take off. She's got training videos for it. And I want her to work on that, because then she can hopefully make that some kind of side or source income besides what she's already getting. And like I said, we just have a lot of cool things coming. And this is something she can just sit out in the gazebo, look at the Superstition Mountains, work on the computer and make some bank, have a toddy, and enjoy her life and watch our wealth grow, because we spearheaded and took control of it, and didn't ask for a handout, didn't take a handout, just built our life one day at a time. And looking back, it's been 8 years building where we're at and going forward to now. So appreciate y'all, love y'all, thank you for being here and supporting us. And if you guys could like this video and any video you watch from the S.E.E., make a comment, helps get the algorithm and pushing the video out for more recommendations to people. And if you could subscribe, because we just got to build up that subscribership to get us to unlock more features. Right now, we will be able to have more features with this channel once I surpass the 1,000 subscriber mark. So recommend it. I will be too busy tomorrow night. I know for sure my last leg of this route, we got to start taking that truck apart and getting things out and getting things ready to rock and roll when we hit the yard. So, but maybe while I'm home this week and or when I take my drive down to see my dad, I'll do a live stream and we can have another discussion and see how I'm doing, get my rest, being out of the truck and removed from it, that see where my stress level and mindset is, so I don't have that constant oh, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, the unwaverly start and stop schedule I have every day of the week. It'll be nice to be able to at least have a W-2 job that is a structured start and stop time, 6 in the morning till 2:30, 3 o'clock. There is going to be mandatory overtime with it, but the mandatory overtime isn't going to be like what I'm doing now. We're only talking like an hour, 2 or 3 every day. Um, that when you're on call and what have you, but it's not going to be as demanding as what I'm doing now by any stretch of the means of the imagination. So it's just happy to be going where I'm going. So I'm gonna go figure out what they got on the menu over there. God knows what it is. Wish I had more energy today. I am just kind of petered out. By the time I got to the hotel last night, I was trying to get a meal done, reschedule this. My wife had a ton of paper. There's been a lot of stuff that she has had me reading and stuff these last few days because we're moving investments around as I hit 59 and a half today. So there's some liquidity we can pull here, move there, do this, do that. I've had a lot on my plate, like I said, from home, and then trying to keep focused driving the truck and teaching this guy the route and the stops and what he needs to do. So pretty drained. So like I said, give me a few days. When I get on the road and go see my dad, it'll probably be a different mindset. I believe it will, and we can take it from there. So again, thank you all. I'm going to say it now. Thanks to my company, Potter Distributing out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, for taking care of me, looking out for me, and to Amy and the girls and Bob for looking out for me out there. When I go through some rough patch, some bumps, but they made sure they had my back, and I always rewarded them twofold. And to Dylan and the guys at Ryder that did try helping me out when the truck was giving me issues, and I've had rental truck issues, but they did look out for me, and I thank them for that. Travis, Dave, and those guys over there. To all my customers, Eric and Robbie, Logan. Trying to think who else may be watching this. Man, you guys made it really cool to come down and hang out in West Virginia area. So it's been an awesome ride, and I think the new guy, you're gonna make him feel very welcome, and I think you're gonna get the reciprocating effect of what I gave you. You're gonna get that from him, and he's looking forward to doing what I've done, and having a good time and enjoying being at a job that makes you feel welcome and cared for instead of just being a number. So you guys take care out there. Stay safe. Continue educating yourself. Knowledge is learned, not taught. And have a blessed week going forward. And probably towards the weekend, I'll be in the car heading to go see my pops. So we'll probably set something up, pop something off, and have a little chit chat on the ride down there. So until next time, see you guys all very soon, and hopefully with a different persona and mindset.